Hey guys, welcome to another YourTechReport video, and today we're going hands-on with a very cool device that I happened to get out of necessity, but I wanted to unbox with you because it is too cool. This is the Zhiyun, I think that's how you pronounce it, Rider-M gimbal for a active camera like a GoPro. So depending on when you're watching this video, we've been doing more and more car reviews. We've been getting into BMWs, Volkswagens, different manufacturers, and doing some hands-on reviews of the tech that's inside the vehicles. The challenges behind recording a review on video for a car are elevated compared to being in a studio here and just kind of unboxing something. Because you want to capture the essence of the vehicle. You want to get people to feel like they're behind the wheel, to get an understanding about the tech that goes behind the vehicle. So I was looking for something that I could use my GoPro with. But the problem with the GoPro, when you tend to like suction cup mount it to the window, is that it's shaking with the car. And yes, the suspension of the car kind of compensates for that. But it would be great if I had some kind of gimbal or some kind of, mount that would absorb the shock so that it would be a much smoother video for you guys. So I looked online and I found out that the guys who make the Crane, that's one of those handheld gimbals, and that company is Zhiyun. I'm not really sure how to pronounce that, quite honestly. Make this Rider-M, and it's a gimbal designed for an action cam for a GoPro. It's a 3-axis gimbal, so it lets you mount it in various shapes and forms. It's battery powered, so it actually has stabilization built in that's electronically controlled. You can control it with an app over Bluetooth. It has chart. Let's go in the box. Let's open the box here. I wanted to open it yesterday when it arrived, but I said, you know what? As I realized what was inside it, I'm like, I have to do this for you guys because I like sharing my excitement about tech with other people, and that's why we have this channel. So let's crack open the box here. It slides off right there like that, and another box there. We're gonna pop that open here. Okay, so inside the box we have our user guide, which we're going to politely ignore for now. Why? Who needs a user manual? Well, this isn't IKEA furniture. Let me show you what's in the box here. So you've got the box right here. You've got the actual gimbal itself over here. You've got 2 sets of batteries. I took a set of batteries out yesterday to actually charge. You've got this cool action grip, this like handle. So if you want to carry it around like a gimbal, you can, or carry around like a handheld gimbal of some kind, you can do that, and this actually extends. Look at that, so it extends like that, so you can actually get some extension in there. So that's pretty cool. As I said, you get 2 sets of batteries. So the batteries are there, the proprietary batteries. There's a charger in here. You've got a GoPro mount, so this allows you to actually use your existing GoPro mount and stick it onto the bottom of the actual camera itself. A variety of different cables. Now these cables are kind of cool. We'll talk about them in just a second. A charging cable, and now the gimbal itself. So let's take a look at this thing here. So this is the Rider-M. It fits in the palm of my hand. Okay. So the goal here is that your GoPro. Let's get a GoPro mounted here so you can see it in the way it's meant to be seen and understand how it's supposed to work. So I've got a Hero 4 here, okay? So this is the Hero 4. It supports, obviously, the latest versions of GoPros as well. You slide it into this cage over here like this. There we go, kind of slides into the cage here. And this front mount here just kind of screws to lock it into place. So these screws lock that cage into place. And you'll see what I mean in just a second when I actually hold it up to the camera. So you see this locking bar here kind of holds the camera into place. You can tighten it, and it's expandable, so it supports a multitude of different cameras. And there you have it. So in the palm of my hand, you've got a stabilization gimbal for your GoPro, which is really cool. So if you happen to, use it upside down, if you want to mount it on a windshield, you can do that. Obviously, when we turn it on, it's going to start stabilizing, and it's going to do what it does. So let's look at the gimbal itself here for a second, okay? On the back side of the gimbal, you have a compartment for the batteries. So let's open the compartment and see what that looks like here. There we go, compartment for the batteries right there. So we're going to put the batteries inside the actual cage over here. 2 batteries. On the bottom of this, there's a traditional camera threading. So you can add that to a tripod. You can mount it to this suction cup, for example, that I'm going to start using it with in the car. So if you look at the suction cup mount for a second, so here it is. I could put it on a windshield, and it can it can support the actual weight of the camera because it's not that heavy. Action cams are, traditionally lighter than regular cameras, so let's figure out how to turn this on. I love when we don't use the manual and we try to figure out how to do it on camera with you, so that you can feel exactly what it's like to do this without knowing how this actually is supposed to work in the first place. Oh, there we go. Okay, so it's on now. As you can see, it's stabilizing in different directions. The camera is always kind of staying focused. There's different modes, so that's mode 1. This is another mode where it kind of smoothly follows where you're going. So look at that. It kind of locks onto place. Now, one of the cool things about this that I was reading was that you could actually position it yourself, so you can manually kind of force it into a position that you want it into. So let's say I want it like this. I can do that with my hand, just literally force it, and you can force the tilt up and down, and it'll stay in that position. And then as you move it, you see how it keeps it perfectly still? So if I was strapping this to a car, for example, let's say I wanted to put this on the side of a car, I could mount this like this to the side of a car in a suction cup, and it would keep the actual camera nice and still, even with the movement of the car, the bumps on the road, everything that would be there, it would keep it nice and smooth. So that's the purpose of a gimbal, is to keep your footage smooth and get that cinematic type effect. And this one's designed for an action camera, which is really cool. Now, I mentioned the small little cables earlier. These are the small little cables like this. So on one side, you see there's it's like a block connector. So on the bottom of the gimbal here, you can see right over here, there's a little area where you can plug in this cable. So if I plug this cable in here, like so, so that cable locks into place on the bottom. Then I connect the other side of the cable to the actual GoPro itself, to the power cord. So it's going to constantly power the GoPro off the batteries that are in the actual gimbal itself, which is really, really cool. So, let's say, for example, that I want to strap this to the mount that came with it, the handheld mount that came with it. So let's get that on there. We're going to lock it into place up there. Okay. Look at the smoothness of this. Look how smooth, buttery smooth those shots are going to be when you rotate it left and right. And this is just me using the handheld one, not necessarily mounting it to anything. So imagine if this is mounted to something that has a lot of bumps and a lot of friction. This will actually compensate for that, and I'm charging the camera at the same time, so I'm not killing 2 batteries. I'm only killing 1 battery, and it comes with 2 sets of batteries and, of course, the charger, so you can always have 1 set of battery always charged for this device, which is really, really cool. So you're definitely going to see this in action in some of our videos. I have a BMW X3 video that I'm doing on BMW X2 in a couple weeks as well. It's kind of BMW month here in YourTechReport, if you haven't imagined, and we're going to use this specifically to capture that footage, especially of the vehicle in motion and some of the stuff inside the vehicle. We're going to do that as well for you. We're going to take advantage of this cool little toy. Retails for $199 Canadian for this kit that you see here. That's a great price for a kit like this. I mean, they sell a lot of cool GoPro accessories from GoPro themselves, but this is one of those third-party accessories that I definitely saw, and I'm like, I got to get my hands on this, because this is going to be a must-have for my kit, especially when I'm traveling, especially when I'm doing like these car videos and stuff like that. Also, by the way, it comes with a little carrying case. A little zip-up carrying case. It comes in the box itself. So really, everything you need to get going is right here. It's the Zhiyun Rider-M. Again, Zhiyun Rider-M. We'll link to it down below in the description. Take a look at that cool thing, and we're going to put it to the test. And if you have any questions, leave us a comment below. If you haven't already, subscribe to our channel. Do subscribe. This way we can continue to bring videos like this to you guys whenever we can. And of course, a thumbs up and hit that notification bell will notify you instantly when we have a brand new video to share with you guys. See you on the next video. God, this is cool.